Okay, we're going to be adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing decimals. The rule for adding and subtracting decimals is to align decimals. These are the only ones that you have to align decimals. So this will be a 1.2, and then the next one will be a 0, 0, and 3. Your decimals are aligned so that we have all our ones together, all our tenths together, and we have also all our 100ths. Notice that there's a missing number in the 100ths once we line them up, so you can start filling in the gaps with zeros if there are any missing numbers in each of the place values. All right, now let's start the adding process. So 0 and 3, let's put a line here. 0 and 3, that's 3. 2 and 0, there's a 2, there's your decimal. 1 and 0, 1. We're done. It was again subtraction. We need to align decimals, so 1.2, and then here, line of decimal, we have a 0, 0, and 3. Now we're going to start the process of subtraction as soon as we fill in all our place values. So these place values are full, these place values are full, this one is empty, so we need to just fill that in with a 0. And now we'll start the process of subtraction. Okay, we cannot take 3 from 0, so we borrow, and this becomes a 1, and this 0 becomes a 10. So 3 from 10 gives us 7. 0 from 1 gives us a 1. Here's your decimal, and there's your 1. And we're done. Now when it comes to multiplication, we simply have to count our decimal places. So this guy has a total, he has 1 decimal place, that's 1. And this one actually has 2 decimal places. When you add those, we see that we have a total of 3 decimal places for the answer. So let's write the numbers now without the decimals. So this is 1 and a 2 and a 3, and we're going to multiply. Okay, so 3 times 2 is 6, and 3 times 1 is 3. Now we need to add 3 decimal places from the rear, so a total of 3. So it starts here. This will be 1. This will give us 2, and I need to add a 0 in order to add a third. Okay, so adding the 0 now gives us 3 decimal places from the right. So 0.0, 3, and 6. Okay, with division, we're going to flip this because we want the divisor to be first. So this will be 0.3, and then we'll start our division here, and 1.2. And we make sure our divisor is moved here, so we'll shift this over, and this becomes a 3, and this took 1 shift to make this a 3, so we'll use 1 shift inside to make that a 12 point. So now the numbers are 3, the little decimal behind it, and this is 12 with the decimal here. Okay, now let's start the process of dividing. Okay, the closest thing the 3 times to 1 is 0, and the multiplier is 0. So we'll subtract that, we get 1. Bring down the 2. The closest thing to 12 in the 3 times tables is 12, and the multiplier is 4. Subtract, and we get 0. So our decimal goes right here, and we can write that as 4 and the decimal. If you include the decimal, you have to put a 0 behind there. If you don't want to include this decimal, you can write this as a single 4.